Back now with Matt and Daniel. Guys, Jeremy believes the draft is a big deal for obvious reasons. Other priorities right now for Dana Brown would be what?
Not Kyle Tucker, like a lot of fans are saying. Hey, hey, come on, you're going to arbitration, just take care of this. I don't think that's the case. I agree with Jeremy. Get the draft lined up. How do you build a great team, a great organization through the draft? Get that going. And really, Dana admitted it the other day at this news conference, I got to figure out who these guys are. I know we've got a great number of major league players, but I need to know the people in the organization. That's what he needs to do. His priorities right now.
Don't mess it up. I mean, that's priority number one. Just don't mess it up with any erroneous deals or trades. James Click, I thought, did a really nice job building out the bullpen. I think that was the strength of this team, really, the last couple of years, and James Click deserves a lot of credit for it. But don't mess it up. They have the flexibility right now. Whatever they've got going on in the front office, whatever structure it is, they have the flexibility that their on-the-field product at the major league level is so good. They're the favorites to win it again. So, yes, make a couple of trades here and there, but the priority for sure, one, don't mess it up, and two, build for the future and that sustainability that Jim Crane's looking for.
And I think James Click does deserve a lot of credit for not trying to come to Houston and put his stamp on the organization. He was very content with figuring out the players within the organization and also working with people, getting a sense of how things were going to go down. And whether that ultimately was a problem for him, I don't know. But he did a good job of letting things be. But Dana Brown, his scouting background, I have to believe that is a major reason he is here. When you consider the past drafts that the Astros have had, you look at the Seth Beers, the J.B. Bukauskas, Forrest Whitley, Corey Lee, still to be determined. Now, people will say, oh, well, look what those guys turned into. Zach Greinke, for example. Yeah. But when you look at the big picture, those were misses. And I have to believe that that is a big reason why Dana Brown is here. You look at his experience in the draft process.
Yeah, for sure. And James Click, that was not one of his strong points. Of course, he wasn't around here long enough to really show us his strong points.
I think his last draft ultimately will be a pretty good one with Gilbert and Melton and some of these other players he picked. I think when we look back 5-10 years from now, I think James Click's resume will look a little bit better. I mean, it looks pretty good right now with the World Series championship. But I think people will look back at that 2022 draft and consider it a good one.
Yeah, you got to wonder if he just takes the one-year deal. He said he was insulted by that. Just take the one-year deal, James. Stick around and work with the owner, work with Jeff Bagwell and his inner sanctum there, Enos Cabell and those guys, and I think he would have continued on because, as you say, one of the biggest things he didn't do was screw things up.
Right.
That was really a big deal.
Well, right now, like I said, flexibility is key as they try to set up the scouting department, player personnel. I mean, they have that luxury that the big league club is so good that they have a couple of years to play with here. And the Astros, that's in a good spot to be.
But I'm getting the sense that because Dana Brown is a former player, he will probably fit better in that inner circle than James Click did because obviously we've heard about too analytical, too much of the numbers. Yeah. I got to believe Dana Brown's going to fit right in simply because he was a professional player for some time.
Yeah, and the one thing Jim Crane, what's the first thing he said? He knows analytics, he knows personnel. He likes the combination, and that was the rub with James Click, is he was not enough feel. What is Dusty Baker? All feel, none of the analytics. And James Click was all analytics and no feel. You've got to have a combination of that. That's what Jeff Bagwell preaches. That's what everyone preaches in Jim Crane's inner circle, and that's what they got here with Dana Brown. I'm really interested to see what he does with this organization.
Yeah, and coming up with the right trades at the right time. Yes, the team is built for success now, but, injuries creep up and needs arise throughout the season. And that's going to be his real true test this year. How does he strengthen the current major league club through trades and through all that process.
And I think Dusty Baker, though, would argue with you and say, I believe in analytics. We just didn't call them analytics then. And again, Jeremy Booth has much more on the challenges facing General Manager Dana Brown on the new Extra Bases podcast, in which he also reveals some candidates consulted with him, Jeremy, during the Astros interview process.